the play is can you see?
Connor has the puck, made a great shot. One to the second, and that's the score. There it is. Oliver Connor gets the first score of the game.
It's Framingham hit the three. Leo scores. Great shot. Score! Chelsea Vernon slides the back of the net from the face-off circle, and with 1:14 to go, the Raiders take a 3-2 lead.
And welcome back to an all-new Black Red Blitz. As always, I'm your host, Rebecca Karen. Well, what better way to kick off this new episode than with boys lacrosse at the stadium for the game of the week, as Bay State Conference leaders Newton North would come in more than ready to challenge the Raiders on their own home turf. And with Wellesley being on an offensive tear of late as well, you knew this was going to be a great divisional battle here on Thursday. First quarter already lives up to the hype as Tigers score first thanks to their captain Bryce Adam, making move around net, goes high-low and gets the hard bounce to go for the score. But Grant Kasikas owns the faceoff and immediately cranks it into the cage for his own statement score, tying it right back up 1-1. Off a turnover, Grant Kasikas scoops up the ground ball and slings a perfect feed to Brendan Conroy. In stride, and Conroy makes it 2-1 Wellesley. Teddy Darcy kickstarts an incredible day here in net with these two fantastic saves, giving the Raiders a great opportunity to add on to their advantage. On the other side, though, Newton North goalie Spencer Harris makes a legit stuff here, but can't rein in the rebound. And as the ball takes a detour like it's stuck in a pinball machine, Brendan Conroy collects it and buries the ricochet. Wellesley is 3-1 now on that fantastic score by the captain. Tigers would be relentless on the attack, but again, Teddy Darcy just in beast mode here, denying another contender. Then, near midfield, Darcy gets his pass intercepted by Bryce Adam. Now, with both Adam brothers bearing down on you and erase the net, most goalies would panic. Hunter Adam rips a shot, Darcy denies it again. And as Tigers just can't seem to break through that defensive wall, you know what makes it even better? When you hear the Newton North parents go absolutely nuts on every one of those crazy saves and keep saying, who is that goalie? So, tied 4-4 in this intense second quarter still, Grant Kasikas just misses on this fantastic no-look behind-the-back shot, with the rebound to Hugh Callahan behind net. Callahan dishes it back out to Michael Bones. Bones fires on net and makes sure that one is going in. 5-4 Wellesley, and that's a one-goal advantage Raiders bring into halftime as well. Third quarter seconds barely tick away on this face-off. Grant Kasikas lofts it ahead to Hugh Callahan. Callahan fires in another score, making it 6-4. Its momentum looks to be with Wellesley. But coming into this game, all the talk was Tigers' dominant duo of Hunter and Bryce Adam, brothers and sons of Coach Bussy Adam. And as Bryce showcases his talent with his own no-look behind-the-back score, that goal cuts it to 6-5 and lights a spark that cannot be stopped in Newton North. So now it's Hunter's turn, as number 6 nets the equalizer, and it's 6-6. I don't know how you stop this, but Bryce Adam whips it in the crease to Hunter, and Hunter Adam slings in the go-ahead score as the Tigers retake the lead here. Bryce Adam then winds up and cranks it past everyone, and the Tigers hold a 2-goal edge, leading 8-6. Switch it back to Hunter Adam as he goes sidearm for yet another score. And halfway through this quarter, everything has changed. Newton North, after being down 6-4, have scored 5 unanswered in this game-changing third. So Raiders now looking at a 3-goal deficit step up as they get this much-needed Brendan Conroy score down 9-7. Newton North, meanwhile, outscored Wellesley 6-2 in that decisive third. And now, look for more. They don't have to wait for long as the fourth opens up and Bryce Adam looks to put this game away right here. With 5 minutes remaining to regulation, Raiders won't go down without a fight. As Brendan Conroy finds net and Wellesley is only down 10-8. Newton North, though, always seemed to have an answer here in this second half. As Will Thompson breaks up the Adams attack for once, and scores one here himself. And that would make it 12-8. And now putting this game officially out of reach. What a battle, though. Despite this 12-8 loss, Teddy Darcy came away with 17 saves. 12 of them in the first half alone. But like so many other opponents who have lost to Newton North, you can't help but admit the combo of Bryce and Hunter Adam is hands down legit. How legit? Tigers scored 12 goals on the day, and 10 of them, 10, were buried by the Adam brothers. Newton North has got something pretty special in those two athletes, as they would win their 9th in a row, and Wellesley, bringing it in all 4 quarters, making those clutch scores, unfortunately in the end, could not break the Tigers' winning streak and lose a tough one here at home, 12-8. After being shut out by Walpole at home and the next day, not much better results on the road at Newton North, the month of May has been especially tough for girls softball. Now, whether the regular season looked busy already at face value, add to that, the earlier postponed games are hard-pressed to be played now as the season is winding down. And with only 2 pitchers in rotation, getting some much-needed rest has not been easy for this squad. So here on Monday, yet another opponent would come into Lee Field, as the Norwood Mustangs would be next to face down in a divisional clash. Mustangs jump out in the first with a 2-0 advantage. The Raiders head to the bottom of that inning with a runner on second, 1 out, and Elizabeth Dew at the plate. Dew drives it past the infield for the single, but Kathleen Mulligan has the ball bounce past her glove just enough for the run to cross the plate. But catcher Brian Garzinski reels in the cutoff throw and throws out Dew, trying to extend it to a double. But that still goes down as an RBI single for Elizabeth Dew. Bottom second, 1 out runner in scoring position. Terrell McLennan connects on this Amanda Albright's pitch and sends it back up the middle. Caitlin Shaughnessy throws it to home, catching Allison Goringer in a rundown. Garzinski tags out Goringer, and that denies the tying run from coming across. But there's still a runner on second, so Mackenzie O'Neill somehow fights off this high and tight pitch and grounds it to Erin Murphy. Murphy can't field it cleanly, O'Neill is safe, and more importantly, the tying run comes across on the error. And so some timely hitting here by the Raiders makes it 2-2. Top fourth still locked in at 2 even. Addie Hodson rips it deep to right center. Ellie Kinney tracks it down, but not before Hodson earns the stand-up triple. 1 out, go-ahead run 60 feet away. Pitcher Amanda Albright lays down the squeeze bunt and is thrown out at first. But Addie Hodson delays making a break for the plate, and Emma Goldenthal fires it to Linny Young, and Hodson is out. It's a bing-bang-boom clutch double play here for the Raiders. Exactly what they needed to keep this one tied up at 2-2 after 4. So after Norwood adds on a run to retake the lead again, top of the 5th, 3-2, bottom of that 5th, Wellesley looks to change that. Julia Pearl on first doesn't have to stay there for long, as Elizabeth Dew takes the first pitch she sees and drives it deep to right center. Mustangs delay with the cutoff throw, and that's all that's needed for Pearl to score from first, and Elizabeth Dew gets her second RBI on the day here, tying it up again, 3-3. But in this already tight game, Linny Young hits a sharp grounder to Siobhan Reen, and Wellesley gets caught in yet another rundown between third and home, as Dew would also be tagged out on the play. Linny Young would be safe though, so still in scoring position at second, pitcher Sarah Farnsworth makes it count, rips it deep and past Caitlin Shaughnessy, and Linny Young scores. Farnsworth RBI double gets the go-ahead run across, and for the first time today, Raiders have the lead here, 4-3. But same story. Raiders work hard to either tie it up, or in this case, earn the lead, but yet again, Mustangs answer. So, with a 4-4 tie, we head to the bottom 6. Well, don't let her size trick you at all, but Shannon Schaefers can hit. And with 1 out at the plate, Schaefers hits it past the shallow outfield for a well-hit double. Then with 2 outs, senior captain Julia Pearl is ready to erase that tie. And Pearl is clutch, as she's been many times before. So as we go back and forth with leads and ties, Wellesley holds a 5-4 edge with 1 more inning to go. But top 7th, Norwood is not looking to go quietly, and Siobhan Reen ties it 5-5 on a sac fly. Runner still on first is Janelle Kelleher next to bat. Just making contact on this pitch, the throw to first can't be reeled in, and the Goldenthal sees the runner heading to third, but the throw is off the mark and heads out of play. Emma Matorel is still allowed to advance though and crosses the plate on that error. The go-ahead run yet again. So bottom 7th, the Raiders get 1 last shot, but cannot answer with another rally. And going down in order, it's going to be frustrating if you're Wellesley. In this back and forth action, to compete well and hold the lead more than once, just to see the Mustangs fight back every time. So another loss would go to the Raiders, and despite the final not going Wellesley's way here, it'd still be a hard-fought one through 7 innings. Final score, Mustangs 6, Raiders 5. Well, it seems like just a few weeks ago, girls lacrosse kicked off their season. But here on Tuesday, the Raiders would be celebrating Senior Day at the stadium. Now for this year, Wellesley would only be graduating 2 on their roster. But they would be 2 of their 4 team captains, essential pieces to the Raiders' successful run towards the MIAA playoffs. There would be senior attack number 3, Cole Callahan, and senior starting goalie number 24, Sophie Vanderveld. Raiders offense gets right to work here in the opening half, and it's kick-started by sophomore Maddie Balter, already taking this one in easily for a 2-0 edge. Balter then adds another one here, running almost the whole length of the field untouched, buries it, and falling down goes with a flip for style, 4-0 Wellesley in a matter of minutes. Raiders are on a tear and aren't letting up anytime soon. Caitlin Tchaikovsky takes it all the way, takes the dish, and buries it in the cage past goalie Hannah Carroll. Cole Callahan would then make her move and grounds it in the cage for her own score. And Flyers, facing an 8-1 deficit now, have no choice but to take a timeout. That timeout, though, does nothing for Framingham as Cole Callahan sets up Caitlin Tchaikovsky for the easy score. And Wellesley is up big, putting this game away still here in this first half. Coming out of halftime, just call me Captain. Captain Obvious, as the Flyers are stuck with a huge uphill battle few could erase, down 12-1. In these first few seconds of this second, though, Isabella Ricciazzi finally gets one past Sophie Vanderveld. But as Cole Callahan keeps dishing out the assists here on Senior Day, this one to Caroline Dolan, making it an 11-point lead. Whatever Flyers try to answer back with, Raiders get right back and easily keep this commanding double-digit lead. It would be a solid senior day for both Callahan and Vanderveld as the Raiders dominated this one early and didn't let up. Since their first 2 losses to open up the season, this team has definitely grown stronger as a unit. The chemistry even more evident on the field in every game. And so taking another victory here, this one 14-4 over Framingham, the Raiders improved to 10-3. Well, after losing their last 2 games by only 3 runs total, Raiders baseball will be back here at Sprague on Wednesday, looking for those bats to light up with some much-needed offense. And more importantly, get them a solid victory, as the Milton Wildcats would be their next opponent to face down. Sophomore Michael Kenny would get the start on the mound, and besides some solid pitching on the day, the defense would also help Kenny out as well, with key double plays to end the first and second innings. In the third, Kenny would also silence Wildcats' bats here, going with an off-speed pitch that'll make any hitter go crazy, just trying to make contact. George Breslin on the mound for Milton would command his pitches just as well, though, as both these starting pitchers are key factors in this scoreless tie the deeper we go into the game. This is a tight one for sure, as Milton has a runner on first. But Colin Fennessy grounds into another double play. This time, Tommy Lieberman lays down the tag himself and throws on the money, making it the 3rd twin killing in 4 innings for the Raiders. And that is huge, as we still remain scoreless here. Bottom 4th, Wellesley looking to erase their 0 on the board right here. Brennan Dolan earns a trip to first with the base on balls. Then wastes no time stealing second, and that is key as Dolan is safe and now in scoring position. 1 out later, Dolan still on second. Jack Weisel is clutch as he rips it down the 3rd baseline for the RBI single. And we've got a run across finally, as Wellesley holds a 1-0 advantage. So Michael Kenny pitches this 5th with the lead for the first time today. But Milton is threatening that 1-run edge with a man on second. James Long grounds out to Isaac Weicker, who scoops it up, but the throw sails too high and past Henry Weicker's glove. Tim Peterson scores on that error, and Wildcats tie it up 1-1. But to the bottom 6 we go, still locked in at 1-1, runner on first and 2 outs. Tommy Lieberman reaches to put 2 on, as James Long's error here looks to prove costly for Milton. Cause next batter at the plate is Isaac Weicker. You know his error last inning is still on his mind. But it's no better time than now for a little Raider redemption. 1-1 pitch, Isaac Weicker lines it past third just fair for the clutch go-ahead run. Solid piece of hitting there for Weicker, driving in the key RBI in a game that has become quite the pitcher's duel. So Milton's got only one last chance here, now down 2-1. But Michael Kenny commands this top 7th with a 1-2-3 inning as Wildcats go down in order. And Isaac Weicker's RBI back in the 6th holds on to be the game-winning run as well. But let's not forget Michael Kenny's performance on the mound either, pitching a complete game on his way to a solid win, only allowing that one unearned run to come across. This is a divisional win Wellesley sure could use as we head deeper into a tough schedule that remains. But for now, this team can enjoy a solid 2-1 victory over Milton. Well, staying here on Wednesday, we head over to the high school gym for boys volleyball, who continue to impress with each win, grinding out victories over solid competition. Coming in at 10-2, their only 2 losses of the season would come against their rivals, the unbeaten Needham Rockets. But even though their latest loss to the Rockets came just 2 days earlier, the Raiders' focus would instead be right here to face the Framingham Flyers. Having already beaten the defending state champs at Framingham, Wellesley looks to do it again here at home. Flyers take the first 2 sets though, and Wellesley is fighting in this third to avoid the sweep. But this team has been here before, coming from behind down 2 to Natick, Newton North, and earlier to these same Flyers. It's like they thrive on being the underdog, on overcoming a challenge. So, not surprisingly, Wellesley wins the third, 25-22. Looking to keep that momentum going forward, Raiders jump out to a 4-1 edge to open up the fourth. And then add to it here when Chris Novak's spike cannot be returned by either Matt Chin or Paul Gallons. Jack DeConza thinks he's got the answer for the Flyers but gets it sent right back at him on this massive kill by Griffin Walker. But Framingham fights their way back into the set and look like they have started to regain their offensive tempo as another kill goes their way. As this time, Eric Tarlant cuts the deficit to 10-9. But timely spikes, including this one from Luke Stuntz, forces a timeout as Wellesley's advantage stands at 16-12. Try to catch up to this spike by Evan Egger as the points keep coming Raiders' way. And in case you didn't already know, these kids are just plain having fun as well. Wellesley wins this fourth, 25-17, tying the game sets up at 2-2. So once again, we are headed to the 5th and deciding set right now. Early on, you can tell this is going to be tight as Jack DeConza gives Framingham a 3-2 edge, a lead for the first time in a while. Dylan Horkin makes it 4-4 with this decisive kill though, and after another Flyers 1-point advantage, Raiders erase it once again, as Evan Egger knocks down Tyler Chan in the process, 5-5. After switching sides halfway through and down 8-7, Wellesley makes this Dylan Horkin serve count. As Johnny Walton follows that up with a dig, Horkin sets and Evan Egger lays down the tying 8th point to the set. And you know this 5th is going to go down to the wire. Evan Egger would get back-to-back key points here on yet another kill. That would give Raiders a 9-8 lead. But tied again, this time it's Ben Burns who rises to the occasion. As the points keep coming, as the captain's celebrations keep getting funnier. It's a battle here in these final minutes as each team has broken a tie to gain the 1-point advantage, just to see the other side tie it right back up. As here, Jack DeConza's kill is the equalizer once again to even it at 13-13. Fast forward deeper into this exciting game locked in at 16-16, as that first team to 15 points, well, is thrown out the window at this point. Dylan Horkin gives Wellesley the 1-point edge again. Framingham finally can't answer back, and Wellesley comes out on top of yet another intense 5-set victory. Huge win for these Raiders as it would already be a huge accomplishment to say in their season they beat the defending champs once. But to do it twice? Well, that's just special. Raiders keep rolling here, and it doesn't look like they are stopping anytime soon. Well, that's it for this new episode, but stay with us as we head deeper into the regular season. With each game, each win, that much more important as these teams continue to fight for a tourney spot. In the meantime, check us out on demand at wellesleymedia.org, our YouTube and Facebook pages at Wellesley Public Media, and of course, right here on Comcast 9 and Verizon 39. As always, thanks so much for watching Black Red Blitz. Go Raiders!
He's He's got some room to run. Kissman, 10 for a touchdown. Kissman.